We are now live on Twitch and YouTube, the Token Smart channels on that. And so, yeah, you'd gotten. Are you using the avatar, the webcam one from Hype, from the Vipe guys?
I didn't try it yet. I have to. The Mac version is what I need
Right.
to. Yeah, and that's the Avatar webcam. It works for PC pretty well apparently, but they just sent me a link to test it out on Mac. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I see. So Dragonate's joined us, and I see Ling out there too.
Hey
That's
guys.
cool. Welcome. We are running through our normal AvaSmart voyage, where we wanted to just look at what we're doing right now, try to talk a little bit about what Avastar's doing, but then jump into some worlds too and try playing with some of our VRMs. Um, we were just talking about because in the past, Walshy and I have been running this VC Face program, which works well on PC, but it doesn't work so well on Mac. So the Vipe guys have actually been working on a webcam app that's supposed to work for Mac. So pretty soon we're gonna have a better option potentially. So that's the hope. But right now we are in the Avastars dressing room world in Hyperfy, which I'll go in there and post a. Oh,
I
nice, Ling. You just won a Vipe Hero.
oh
Cool. Did how'd they run the contest? Did you get like a credit, or did they get to pick one for you? I know the Vipe team is doing quite a bit of stuff trying to get things out. So, oh, nice.
nice.
Yeah, we really like what the Vipe team has been doing. They're doing a lot of cool stuff, and they're obviously, I mean, they worked with us to get the Avastars stuff so well. Uh, but yeah, their Vipe Hero project is looking really cool. I've got a couple myself, uh, which we could potentially go look at. I believe I had downloaded one of them if I remember right, so we can jump back and forth between stuff now.
Nice.
Right, the more we do this, the easier it gets. That's the cool thing. I mean, I do feel like a lot of people want help with setting this stuff up, but it does like nothing teaches you as well as just getting in and starting to test and break things, in my opinion.
Yep. Just got to try to jump in, and if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask them.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely a really good spot here. Is I know people feel like silly or dumb for asking questions, but a lot of this stuff is outside of a normal person's wheelhouse. So there are no dumb questions when it comes to some of this VRM metaverse stuff. Let's see. Last week, Walshy and I actually walked easy in crypto through setting up his Avastar in here, and he joined us in one of the worlds to walk around. It'd be fun to pull him in too. The more Avastars we got running around together, the better it is.
Yeah, I really enjoyed racing when we did that the one week in the like Mario Kart land. That was really fun. But like that was a simple course and we crashed very easily, but I'm looking forward to more games of that nature, where we can just take our Avastar VRMs or whatever VRMs and just jump into games and play together.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, Ling. Yeah, if you are you running a PC or a Mac? If you're running a PC, I can drop a link to the app that I'm using to do what I'm doing on the video. If you can see me down in the bottom, yeah, we've got some Mac options. We just haven't used to do as much since it's been Walshy and I doing it. We're on PC, so everything's been focused on PC. But
Yeah, I'm on a
luckily, Quigbell here is on a Mac.
you can access the worlds on a map. Just don't try to do too much. Like maybe just one tab, one world at a time instead of multiples. which is kind of annoying because, part of the fun of this is jumping back and forth, and you might want to go back to a world that you were at earlier. And so, I end up with multiple tabs and then it crashes. But yeah, you can do it with like one tab to start out. And for the VTubing, Walshy actually made an explainer video on how to do the VTubing, and we're going to be posting that soon. But we have to add instructions for Mac because you can do it on a Mac as well, but his instructions were for PC.
Yeah, right now I'm running an app called VC Faced to see what I'm doing, but then I'm using OBS to actually stream it, and then able to like layer screens on. Like you can see right now, I have our my browser inside the Hyperfy world behind my Avastars that I'm sending from my camera. So that's the most straightforward path I've been able to find doing it, but it does require somewhat of a beefy computer because you're running 3 or 4 pretty high resource requirement apps to do it.
See,
Cool, we
Tris,
got some other folks joining too.
is that video, you think that video is okay to share? I could drop it in the chat.
I think so.
All right, let me grab it here.
Yeah, drop. I mean, if we got other people who want to do some of this stuff, Dragonite, we could probably get you on there too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've tried giving it a run yet. Oh, what's that? So you've got Obscure on the Epic Games Store. Yeah, there's a couple oh, I was just saying, yeah, you could if you wanted to set one up too, come on up to the stage and join us. Go run around in Avastar land with us. Or is that you? I see we have an anonymous person who joined who's trying out some Avastars too alongside us. Or is that you, Ling? Ah, nice. Yeah. Yeah, right there. We got that's the latest video that Walshy created for us to walk you through doing the same setup I'm doing right now. Yeah, some of the latest stuff I've seen. I don't know if we've a couple times in the past we've jumped into Substrata, and Substrata is pretty fun because they've got like vehicles and stuff. But he's working on water effects. I don't know if you've seen that. Quick Bell, like
No.
he's making
Like,
it so there's like you like water, yeah, that you guys can get into and swim, and that you can add objects that interact with it. So you can create like floating objects that'll float on top of the water.
dude, that's awesome.
I know. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have to get in there, and figure out a speedboat or a jet ski for my Avastar to ride around on.
Yeah, so for anyone who's listening, everybody on Team Avastar is now gonna switch over and just build shit in metaverses. Because we need cool shit for our Avastars to do. So
Obviously. You see, it'd be hilarious if we yeah, I know. Now we need to look at outfits and figure out ways to change clothes, because now
yeah,
I feel like my guy needs a pair of swim trunks
right? Yeah.
so he
I
could
won't
ride on a jet ski.
like this one's cool because it's like, the uniform that they came with and everything, but definitely more outfits and the ability to trade them with other people and everything I think will be really dope.
Man, oh man. I know. I'm trying to think. Let's see. The other Hyperfy worlds that we were playing with. Let's see. We got the Token Smart one, and then our friends over at that Third Planet Studio are doing some cool music venue stuff. It's not as exciting when you don't have an actual event going on, but like most of this stuff, right? I see a Teppy in there too. Welcome, sir. It would be cool to see if we could get you up on the stage too and get you to get your VTubing on. Perhaps join us over here. This is when it starts getting kind of weird, right? When you've got streaming video into the same video. Because you start getting the mirror effects. Because you can see what other people can see right now on the screen within the Hyperfy world. Actually, that could be a really interesting path to creating some sort of like a fun, crazy house, like a fun house build.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, Halloween's coming up too.
Yeah. See, like that would be a really cool project if we wanted to focus on something. I definitely think a haunted house build
Yo,
would be
let's
pretty
do it.
incredible. Yeah, if we're going to start talking about like separate wearables and new types of outfits, Halloween costumes for our Avastars is where it's at.
Yeah, I think we need trait-based outfits too, because like, if you have like the steampunk setup, you're gonna want a steampunk outfit. It's just that simple. Same thing for the pirates. I definitely want pirate outfits, and also Vipe already created a couple outfits for us, like just to show us what they could do in the very beginning, and they were freaking awesome. So, like, I know they can do it. And they said, they're happy to work with us in the future. But the thing about all of this is for Avastars to do anything, the community has to demand it clearly, or else it's going to be up to the community.
That's right, community. Get
Yeah.
on it. Because, yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of fun things you can do. Like, one thing I was thinking would be interesting with the pirate stuff would be we could actually make ships. Now that I'm thinking about like Substrata with the water effects, I'll need to get in and play with it. Maybe for next week I can see what I find. But if I could build a large ship, then we could get some pirate trade Avastars sitting on the ship, sailing that around the sea.
That'd be awesome.
Figure out a way to go and invade other people's builds. Now that would be hilarious.
Avastar team, go.
That's right. I see a Tepi on there. We're gonna have to go pilfer his booty.
We're coming for your booty. Where did you go, Tris? I was typing and I got distracted.
I jumped into the Token Smart world, which was I noticed you took some pictures from it
Yeah.
for the ad. Yeah, let's post it up here. If anybody else wants to join us, Ling, if you want to jump in here. This hopefully, I mean, this has been a fun like experiment and build stuff while we explore the stuff while we're building it. But now I'm like, we're at the point where I can start actually setting up other things. Like I work with some music artists that do different drops and things through Token Smart. It'd be fun to have them actually utilize this build now. Or we were talking about potentially doing some podcast or creator interviews, and we can use the interview showcase to do that. Yep. You picking me up now? Oh man, we got a friend who wants to get up. Let's get him up here. Nay, Teppy. Oh, there we go. You muted, dude.
I'm on mute. I'm back. What's
Dude,
up,
that
y'all?
background looks sick.
Hey, kind kind of heard you twice there. I'm not sure if my settings are. Can you speak again? Make sure it doesn't echo you.
Yeah, how about this? I think it's playing through Quig's speakers.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me. Hey, yeah. Let me get that link to that. I forgot. What is that? Metaverse, the Avatar show. I love these avatars, man. I've been using them in my Wednesday events. I actually have an event today for hiphop.eth and super convenient. Prior
That's
to this,
awesome,
I had
dude.
yeah, man. Prior to this, I had the kind of paper doll aesthetic, and that was cool too. It's like kind of like a South Park type picture, and the mouth moves like But this is people have been complimenting like it's next level, the VRMs.
Dude, that's awesome feedback. I know we did a lot of work. Like Quick Bell here spent a ridiculous amount of time pouring over each trade, but yeah, like in your use case right now, like you look amazing right there, dude. I can't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so cool. I kind of wish people could see what the 3D looks like before they buy the 2D because I've had a couple people tell me that like they want to go shopping like specifically now like for the 3D versions.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna get my team up on it. They have their own Avastars now. It's three of us.
Nice.
that is cool. Yeah, I'd like to. I know I'm in your hip hop Discord, and I've seen some of the things, but I haven't attended as much stuff lately while I've gotten busy on other stuff. But you're still growing the stuff. You still doing any competitions over there?
Yeah, so what we do is every Wednesday we do a word bot cipher. So we've created a bot in Discord that you add your name to, and it keeps track of whose turn it is. So this is all kind of freestyle rapping. So the bot gives a random word every 9 seconds, and you get 5 words at a time. And then it tells you whose turn is next, and they go, and they kind of have to use impromptu the random word in their freestyle rap. So we do that every Wednesday as a cipher, and then the last Wednesday of the month we do a competition where people go head to head using the words and to see who can do it better according to the judges. And yeah, so we do that competition. There's $175 in Ethereum up for grabs. And so at the same time, it's an onboarding mechanism because, people have a reason to make a wallet at that point.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
We should dig into some of that stuff. I know I've been working on some other stuff myself on like some participation tracking mechanics and stuff alongside like a minted pass thing for token smartly. It'd be cool to show you some of that stuff and see if you're interested in playing with any of that stuff with me.
Yeah, probably would be. I've been looking into the virtual worlds. I did get a few hyperfis. I have like the Somnium, the Cryptovoxels, the Decentraland, and the Sandbox, and kind of like just kind of holding on to these and hoping that in-world music and sound and collaboration will be a lot less laggy, latent, because you have to have the sound on the same uh, timing, right?
Yeah, that's been an issue ever since we started. It's lately I've definitely been feeling that the old, we all knew we were early when we started playing with this stuff, what, like 6, 7 years ago at this point? Like, we knew that, but yeah, it still feels early when it comes to like some of that stuff. Like, this is stuff that, but people aren't paying as much attention to it, so I guess they're not really focusing, right? But that's gonna come. I've like it's gonna have to, just right.
Yeah, I would say maybe in the meantime, there's other ways to go about it. Streaming, from the Discord into the world where it's different. I'd rather in world you see people, you see their avatars, and their mouth moving, and the music and everything sync. That'd be great.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, some of this stuff like you wanna. I know the way I've seen other apps like get around it is basically like looping. Like, you record a loop and then you do the next thing based off that replay loop, and I'm like, that's not the same. That's We're trying to get a group of 3 or 4 musicians together in a virtual room, right, and be able to play off each
Yeah,
other's cues.
that's the dream.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. I mean, just the fact you're using, yeah. I am glad that, yeah, our tech was able to, hopefully help you step up your game too on the visual side. Like, yeah, that looks awesome. Like, I like the background. I
Thank you,
like the
man.
animated background, dude.
Thanks. Let me just
We-
pull up one of the screens for one of our competitions just so you can get a kind of a grasp of what it looks like. Hold on one second.
oh, that was cool. What are we? Somebody walking around as one of Coldie's decentralized guys. That's a good one. Or maybe something else. I'm not sure if that's actually one of his things, but it sure looks like it. It's pretty cool.
So I brought one of the screens up, and the bot in the
Uh,
Discord kind of sends the info to the OBS, tells you whose turn it is, and you see their profile pics in these little squares. And the person's profile pic in the middle, that's whose turn it is to rap. And the word in this case is broadband, so they'd have to use that word. There's their name at the bottom. It's raw proof. This was from the last Word Bot Wednesday cipher. And of course, we got the couple gazers at the top. Shout out to Matt Kane.
dude, that's such a cool use case. Like,
And next level is bringing more than one avatar, remotely into the OBS. And there's ways to do that.
that's cool. Yeah, I've been using Restream for some stuff because they've got a pretty good set of tools where you can invite somebody into a recording room and have it like split screen stuff, or you can have like mini screens with like a background, like your own branded
Oh, okay.
background. Like,
See, I use Restream, and I wasn't aware of that. But what I was thinking was the technology where you'd be able to transmit your avatar data to me, and I could just pull your avatar on my screen, and two of us will be here.
oh yeah, that's a good idea too. Yeah, that's like, I don't know how tech savvy, some of the other guys in your group are, but it does feel like we still need to have. I try to get a lot of people on and try to onboard them, and we're all struggling with UI stuff, and people who are not tech savvy or people who just don't want to, you know, put themselves through the pain of learning it, right? Is kind of, I guess, what it is. Like, it's
Yeah, I mean,
understandable. Well, I don't.
there's levels to it as well. For instance, they said that you could take your Avastar and reduce it in Blender so you can go into the on cyber worlds. To me, on cyber better pop that limit up to like 15 megs. I'm not really kind of do all that extra.
Yeah, that's like yes, you can reduce the poly count. You can do some of this stuff. There's no like tools that'll just do it for you. You've got to open up Blender. You've got to go in and manually modify and edit it and like look get your 3D designer degree to get to the point where you can do it effectively in some cases.
Just have Chat GPT on the side guiding you step by step, like you were a
Right.
5-year-old.
Yeah. So we're definitely still at that spot for a lot of this stuff, but it's cool seeing more people like putting in the time to work through it. But yeah, if you can create a great way for somebody who doesn't have any clue whatsoever how to do this, just come on and be like, oh yeah, just click this link and then you're in, right? Turn on your mic and you're ready to go. Like
Yeah,
that's what we
and
need.
yeah, and I understand why they did it. The low limit on the, because it takes too many resources, and you have a lot of avatars. They wanted to keep it low. I don't know if it's at 10 MB or 8 MB uh, for on cyber. But again, eventually, I think they should just pop up the limit. And what world is that? What right there? Let me jump in there.
Yeah, this is, I think I posted the link, but if I didn't, then let's see, I will now. Yeah, that's cool. I feel like some of this stuff showcasing people who are using these Avastars in creative ways would be a really cool thing to do. Like, I really like what you're doing with yours, dude. Like, Quick Bell, we should look at that. I know there's other people. I know there's guys who've made brands out of it. Well, Shark and Pranks, yeah, the big ones that people like know, but I don't see them like putting their VRM on and going on podcasts and talking to people. Like,
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
great. It's not
We
the
can
same.
Eric Rhodes because he used it for his podcast. Um,
Nice.
and yeah, so we should talk to him about that and just make sure he knows how to do it. A couple people I wanted to reach out to, Trey Kirby, basketball dude. He does the No Dunks podcast, and I guess it's pretty big in Canada. While she actually got us that interview with him a long time ago because he discovered Avastars a while back and like decided to use his Avastar like for his brand. Um, and so yeah, definitely I want to get in touch with him too and make sure that he knows how to VTube with it because stuff like that is really awesome and that's how we'll get the word out about Avastars to people outside of our little group here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, Utepi, you got your Vipe Hero down there. Yeah, like it'd be cool just be like, hey, come on over here, sit on the couch. We can run a late night with Trislet show. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay, so
for
I have to
sure.
ask this. You keep saying Yetepi, and that sounds really cool in my head, but the way I'm reading your name is Yeetpay, like Pete, but like Pig Latin.
Hey, that's great. Listen, what's crazy and what's funny is I allow people to say it anyway because even the way I pronounce it sometimes is improper. Like going by language and how it's supposed to. I believe it's supposed to be Yatepe. Okay,
Yetepe.
I go by Yatepe. Uh, but I say Yatepi sometimes,
Yetepi.
right? And then a lot of people say Yeety Pay, all types of different, and I appreciate all of
It's
them.
awesome. Oh, Dragonate just said I always hear Yeety Pie in my head.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's great, man.
I had to ask 'cause I was wondering.
Nice. Yeety Pay.
It
I
was a
like
play
that.
on it was a play on PD backwards. It was a play on PD backwards. I feel like just going by Tep nowadays. Let me just go by
Oh,
Tep.
That's cool. Tip.
that's awesome. I see Easy joined us. He was here with us last week. We got him hooked up on his Avastar, and he was
Yes.
running around with us.
Yeah, he's been all over the place with his VRM.
Yeah, we can see if he'll come up here. Yeah, the zombie cowboy. We need some horses and stuff. That's what we said last week too. We've got all kinds. These are where the cool ideas come, right? Like we need to make an old west saloon, and he could ride a horse in. He's gonna be a zombie cowboy. So, yeah, quick bell. Now we've got some tasks we need. We need to create a pirate ship to sail the substrata seas. We need some cowboy western shooter apps,
Yes,
right?
noted.
We need like
Making a
tell
list.
Jimmy, yeah,
World.
tell Jimmy to get on it. This is
Yes.
what we need.
I'm actually looking into the old Crypto Voxels Avastars jerseys because I don't know who currently has the. I don't think that they were all given out. I think Rizzle might have some of these still.
Oh yeah, I'll need to look. I know
Yeah.
we created those for the whip like a long, long time ago.
Yep.
And
I have one of them. I just I'm trying to look here.
made like
45.
the basketball jerseys for the Met Olympics.
Yeah. Jimmy has one. Yeah, if there are like a grip of them somewhere, we should do a giveaway.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that. I started this conversation last year, but it wasn't as much resource and it was harder to get other people's like on board with it. But with some of these VRMs and the evolution I've seen of some of these metaverses, I think rerunning the Meta Olympics could be really interesting now, and some of our prizes would be really fun and interesting.
Yeah, that could be really cool. Somebody
Might be the
did
next step.
tag Ben about like getting our VRMs into voxels, and then we went back and forth with him for I don't know, like a day about it. And he's like, I don't know, it seems like maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe we should allow VRM. I don't know. And then we had a bunch of people say, yeah, you're overthinking it. So I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe it's time to like uh zeet at him. I just can't get used to saying that. I'm gonna zeet
You
at
know what?
someone.
You know what? I was thinking about that whole scenario. I saw the tweets and I saw the replies, and I was on the side of that. And then I went in world for an event, and I haven't been in world in a while. And I was loving all the wearables, and I thought in my head, I said, I wonder if if he really has a point with that, and we'll be missing some, like it will be losing something by doing that. I was all with it until I was in world that day, and I have to question it now. I like both. I just
Yeah.
have to at least question it a little more because I don't know, like that. You could tell it's voxels right away when you see somebody, right?
Yeah. I,
It's a
I just
pretty good call out.
I want to see
Yeah.
it happen. And if it sucks, and then we scrap it. But like I want to try. I always want to
Yeah.
try the things.
I mean, I like because I think if you've been in crypto voxels, you can load in, you can use the he made one of himself, like a VRM of himself, and he has it, and it's him in a tracksuit, and it's hilarious when you see somebody pull it out. But you can
Oh
definitely
yeah,
see
with
where
the
it's
blue.
like, yeah.
I like to always bring this up too, for people who may not have seen it. Did you ever see the original Avastars build in Crypto Voxels? I mean, I know
Yeah, it was
Tris has.
huge.
Yeah. Okay, so you've seen it. That is amazing. That's another good sorry, Zeet to Zeet again. Like I like to throw that out there every couple months because Devil should get like serious awards for that, and I'm so sad that it's gone. I wish we could go run around in old Avastar land.
Well, this
That
is funny because
weird.
it's like some of Jin's work is all around yeah, he's done a lot of stuff where he's focused on like documenting the early stuff and like having it so you can go back in a time machine to see what things look like early on and stuff like. So a lot of his work was around like documenting what was happening, not necessarily building stuff, but just documenting what the current situation was. So he's got all kinds of like snapshots of cryptovoxels way back when it first launched, and then 6 months in and stuff, and he was messing with those, like creating little worlds that you could spin up. So I bet you we could probably get a copy of the world when that was the thing spun
Oh,
up,
that
maybe in
was cool.
Hyperfy.
Yeah. Definitely
That would be
worth
a fun
looking
task.
into if he has a copy of that specific period.
Yeah. Well, that's we're all no matter how you feel about like I like watching some of Rizzle's Twitter or X account stuff. He's always calling out about people saying, "Hey, look, we're the first to do X, Y, Z," and it's like, no, that happened like 3 years ago. Like this was actually the first. I'm like, there's a whole ton of stuff that people were playing with. I mean, at this point, we were doing stuff 2017, which is almost it's like 6 years ago. Like people thought crypto started in 2021. I'm like, no, it was like 5 years before that. We were doing some of this stuff too. It's like a whole
Yeah,
history
man.
book that just seems to be being glossed over. Like, no, like people saying it didn't happen. Like, there was a lot of really fun
Yeah.
stuff that was happening, and then it just got bulldozed out of the way to make room for whatever newfangled thing was coming out. Right?
Yeah. Yo,
It's
shout
a
out to
great time.
Paige Dow. Shout out to Paige Dow on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were early on some really cool publishing stuff. We used to run the Pass the Pen show in Token Smart. Yeah, Easy was part of that group too, where they collectively worked to write a story together. Like stuff like that was exciting and interesting, right?
Yeah, and then someone's gonna come along and say, "Hey, look what we just made. We're the first."
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's not really any like I know. It's one of those things like I see a lot of people like there's a lot of anger and resentment around it, but I'm like I don't necessarily know if that's the right path to go. It's more like well maybe our marketing wasn't at the point, so it didn't get as much, you know, proliferation at the time as it should have. We all know it because we were there and it was exciting, but so I feel like instead of getting angry at it, it's more like should be a something to light a fire under us to like make it more approachable and easy to see what happened in the past so we can educate people more, right? We're the
Yeah,
old guard
that's
at
a
this
fine
point.
line. That's a
Yeah.
fine line because it sucks to try to resort to tactics that they use because they'll have an advantage. I'm talking about the social influence on not caring what they're and just being like, yeah, this instead of letting them know, hey, you know what, this is what we have here, but there's these limitations. There, like the influencer doesn't really care to educate. They're more like, yeah, this is the best. And then something happens down the line and they're out of the way. They're nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. Good call out. No, we got a cool crowd here for this show today. A lot of old school crypto folks who've been in the NFT space for a long time. A lot of our community seems to be based around that. It's been fun seeing the Avastars VRM publishing stuff has brought a lot of old school folks who were, very early Avastar collectors out of the woodwork showing what they're doing with some of the VRMs. So yeah, people who I hadn't heard from in a long time.
I think Easy might be trying to get up. Not sure.
I invited them up, but
Oh, okay. Excuse me. No, yeah, I can hardly. I can't tell. If that's someone putting their hand up or if someone invited them up.
Cool. I'm not sure if we wanted to go try to like explore some other place or if there was some, but I'm really glad you jumped on the stage this week, Teppy. You got some cool shit going on. We need to hear more about what you're doing later and funnel some stuff over to you too. So I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Finally got a small team together, and I've been looking for this for a long time. So it's me and two others. It's Baron X and Shamanic. You may not know them, but we're we're hive minded. We're really. I mean, I got a big smile on my face right now, even though the Avatar might look like I'm angry. Nah, I'm angry in default mode with Yatepe's Avastar. Like he's got his like eyebrows down, but no, I'm ecstatic that I mean, we're building.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Well, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm out of other stuff, specific things that we're working on. Now I feel like I'm going to keep giving myself things to do for next week that aren't going to happen because I'm going to fill up too much.
Yeah, per usual. But I
I
do
know.
get into building stuff, Tris. We need to like put that in the calendar. Like this is important. We need to block it out and we need to build some cool shit.
Yeah. I want to see a pirate ship with cannons and stuff that blow up other people's houses. Like, need to
Blow.
get on this.
Oh man, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, cannons, yeah. Let's fire them.
Let's go. We haven't seen any LFGs on the X verse lately because everything is so kind of blah right now. But yeah, I think that if we do some fun shit like this, we can bring back the LFG. Let's go.
Oh, that's a good idea, Ling. Yeah, if we could get, I had a flying saucer like model here that was just like was animated. If I had a way that I could come down, drop a laser, and it would pull your guy out of the world or something, that'd
Yeah,
be hilarious.
we still have so many like illustrations from Marmota and Milky of like the Genesis 721 and stuff and like OBR that we haven't like been able to do anything with. Like, man, I would love to like really put together a dope Planet Avastar. Like, just use all those things somehow. That would be really fun.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, some of the stuff like when we think about like crazy, people say the metaverse is like an ownable thing, so it's like it's an interesting one when you start talking about stuff that affects other people's builds, I guess. But having a spot where it's like, things are transient where you build stuff but then other people can affect it makes a more like intricate world. Like that's how you get, like, if Utepi builds a building and then a Godzilla walks by and steps on it, like, yeah, it got knocked down. Like you need to make it easy to rebuild it, right, if you're going to do that. But like that's part of the allure of something goofy like that. Like, I don't know, we need to get to that sort of thing. Like that's how you implement games and stuff, things that are like when the environment interacts with you more often like that, and you can have an effect on the environment all over it. Seems like it's a much stronger game vibe than a simple building vibe.
Yeah, I always like
Yeah.
the builds that have something that you can like pick up and like run around with, or like I don't know, we could have like swords you could pick up, and I like the idea of like legit like firing the cannon like for some purpose. We could build a little game.
Yeah. Well, sweet. We
Yeah,
got some
definitely.
shout outs for hiphop.eth. I don't know if you've got any virtual stuff you want us to check out, or if anybody has any links
Um,
for other worlds, we could jump somewhere else too.
I don't. I just started, and I have a build made by Ogar, in crypto voxels, and he did send me the GLTF, and I put it in world, but it needs some work on the surroundings, so I'll just hold that for another time.
Nice. All right. Well, then I think I'm gonna close this field trip out. Then coming up on the hour anyway.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It was definitely fun, and yeah, I'm willing to come back another time whenever.
All right, dude.
Let me know.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Nice.
Hope to see
We'll
you
see you next week. If I don't see you in the
Enjoy, y'all.
metaverse first.